Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to break down this really powerful idea about why those tiny little things can sometimes drive us absolutely nuts, and more importantly, what that feeling is actually trying to tell us.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a feeling I think we all know. That moment when your patience, it just snaps.
No, really. Take a second. When was it? Was it somebody chewing with their mouth open? Maybe you couldn't find your keys for the 10th time this week. It's that sudden wave of just completely outsized anger over something you know is, well, pretty trivial. We have all been there.
This image just nails it, doesn't it? See, it's not really about the pebble itself. It's about all the books that were already stacked up, waiting. One tiny final annoyance is all it takes to bring the whole structure of your calm crashing down. So let's look at a perfect, real-world example from our source material that really captures this whole tipping point thing in action. All right, so picture this. The scene is pretty simple. The narrator's job is to get packages organized before a busy shift starts. You need a clean slate to prepare for the chaos that's coming. It's a fundamental first step. But here it is. Here's the pebble. Day in and day out, they walk in to find a total mess left by their coworkers from the shift before. Which should be a nice, smooth start to the day, immediately becomes a point of friction. And here's the part that'll really get you. Fixing each cart would take maybe 5 minutes. 5, max. We're not talking about some huge backbreaking task here. It's this tiny little bit of effort that's just consistently ignored. And this is where the emotion starts to get a lot deeper. It's not just about the extra 5 minutes of work. It's the consistency of the mess that turns a simple annoyance into this ongoing chronic feeling of being let down by the people you work with. So suddenly, the messy carts, they're not just messy carts anymore. They've become a symbol of something so much bigger, a whole workplace culture where it feels like people just don't care. They don't care about their work, and they don't care how it impacts everyone else. So what do you even call this specific feeling? This sense of being personally offended by someone else's carelessness? Well, believe it or not, there's a word for it.
Our source gives us this fantastic word, umbrage. To take umbrage at something. It's that sting of disrespect you feel. And just being able to name the emotion. That's a huge first step toward understanding what's going on inside.
Okay, now this quote, this is the real key that unlocks this whole thing. It suggests that our emotional boundaries, our points of frustration, they're not just walls, they're actually signposts, pointing us towards something incredibly important. So let's take that idea, the fence, and connect it back to our story about the messy carts. Let's see what that frustration is really truly pointing to. So here's the big idea. When you feel that umbrage, that intense frustration, that's your emotional fence going up. And it's not there by accident. It's there to guard the things you hold dear, the core values you really live by. So you see, once you look at what that fence is protecting, you realize, wow, this was never ever about the carts. The fence of frustration was screaming about deeply held values, a need for empathy, a belief in taking pride in your work, and the absolute importance of shared responsibility. Those are the things actually being trampled on. Okay, understanding the why behind the feeling, that's powerful stuff, but it doesn't magically make the messy carts disappear, right? So, how do you go from understanding the problem to actually dealing with it? Well, the narrator lays out a personal strategy, and this is where it gets really good. Now, this isn't just a simple to-do list. It's like a psychological toolkit for resilience. Do my own job the best I can? That's about taking back control and pride. Recognize they are not my problem to manage. That's about drawing a critical boundary so you stop wasting your energy on things you can't change. And then, remain civil and making sure your actions aren't affected by theirs. That's about protecting your own integrity. It's refusing to let someone else's apathy drag your standards down with it. And that right there is the essential shift. The strategy's goal isn't the impossible task of fixing other people. It's the very achievable one of protecting yourself. It's an internal solution to an external problem. And this is a tool you can use for almost anything. It's how you stay sane and effective when you're surrounded by chaos, whether that's messy carts at work or, any other frustration life throws you.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to take with you. The next time some tiny little pebble threatens to tip over your whole stack, don't just get mad at the pebble. Take a breath and ask yourself, what important value is this emotional fence of mine trying to show me right now? And how can I protect that value without letting somebody else's chaos become my own?